So we just got some amazing news right at the moment about season 4 of Ninjago Dragons Rising. So this is pretty cool, so sort of let's get into it. So remember the Amber Spiral storyline? Someone has asked a question because we've known this has been something that's canon, obviously, in Ninjago, and with Source Dragons and all that stuff being introduced, we wanted to know what it's based on. So let's get on with what the question that was asked. Hi, Doc. I have something about Amber. From a canon story named The Amber Spiral, many years ago, a blacksmith from Metallonia envied the elemental masters of their powers. At the place where he lived, there was an ancient crooked tree with a mystical amber ensnaring anything that got too close. He then uses the blacksmith's skills to turn the magical amber into the first chronosteel to absorb fragments of elemental powers from their masters. In this way, blacksmiths created the new elemental power of amber. Question: since you said that an artificial created element can only be created with energy of a source dragon, could it be that the crooked magic tree is charged with source dragon energy? Doc White's answer is hella interesting, because it says from Doc White, it absolutely is. So this tree was 100% created by a source dragon that just left energy in there. Some trees have a specific relation to source dragon energy. More on this after season 3. Jesus Christ, man, what are you guys doing to us? So Doc White's gonna make us wait a full year. He should have waited at least halfway through the year to answer this question. Because let me explain to you why I love this idea and kind of what I think about all this. The Amber Spiral storyline, I'm pretty sure, dates back to before Crystallized had come out, or before Seabound had even released properly, or after Seabound had released. And the whole thing about this was, I'm pretty sure at the time, we were basing each Ninjago season off a ninja, but their element. Season 11 was Kai and Zane, so the Fire and Ice chapter, and we were supposed to have Prime Emperor be a whole Lightning chapter for Jay, exploring the powers and themes in Jay's mom was supposed to have some importance. And then season 13 follows a story with Cole and his elements. Actually, now looking at Jay's storyline, it'd be very similar to Cole's. But back onto this. Each season developed a certain elemental power, and the whole thing during that talk and discussion was, why are we exploring the 6 ninjas elements when there are elements like Amber that need to be explored? This was something that people were talking about, like, you've got to explore Amber a bit more. Season 9 really did something new after Skylors regained this power. I feel this is something that's stupid in my opinion, but you can really see it maybe in Tournament of Elements. She had touched every single Elements Master at the time that was there. Their power was all absorbed by her, and she wanted to use her. She had all the powers. And I think when you first have your element and you train with it, you will never, ever lose an element. Season 9, in Crystallized, Hunted and Crystallized showed us both. She can lose those. Simply. And easily. She can at least hold out 12 hours with the power. But that's it. And I honestly think she doesn't like using them. Unless Crystallized, we don't count that properly. Because 11-minute format's like 11 minutes she has the power. 11 minutes she doesn't the next. So, unless we don't want to count that. But Hunted didn't really show us much. So I'd be very interested to see. Obviously, she wasn't in the Tournament of Sources, which I feel like makes total sense. But there has to be a story there. Amber is an interesting element. And I think, crazily enough, this story, shittily, it was adapted. It's very shit for me to be like this. I love how it was actually adapted on Lego's website, and now it's gone. It would have been so much better for something in the show. It's even interesting how Camille comes in and does. It is such an interesting thing for the time and for what Lego does. Now, Skylar, if this is something that we do see, and Skylar's not involved next season, that'll piss me off. But Skylar will need to be important to this, or mentioned in some format. Skylar is a huge part of the Elemental Masters and who their characters are, and I can see them doing this. Why don't you introduce Skylar to the team of new ninjas, recruiting and all that sort of stuff? It makes sense. Restore whatever's happening with Kai and Skylar's relationship and go from there. In fairness, I honestly think it is that time. Kai's story can develop in many ways, but Kai can also develop with Skylar. But I'm talking now separately about Skylar because this is a whole discussion about Skylar. Skylar's element is sort of like difficult to explore and hunt down, per se, and where it comes from is this comic. And if it is true, these trees will obviously play an importance somehow in season 4, because obviously we don't have anything seen in season 3, so we're missing a whole chapter. But it is interesting that to note, I still stem from this theory. Season 3, part 1, is to tie up all the loose questions from season 1 and 2 and finalize that in part 1. Well, season 3, part 2 is to really get the hype up for the last season of Dragons Rising and build up to everything that will come to that. I feel like season 4 will build up more of that hype by learning more about the Source Dragons that we did before. I feel like that sounds so interesting, and I feel like Skylar needs to also be a part of that, like she was in Crystallized. If she is a final help to the ninja, it makes a lot more sense than making her not. But in the comment section down below, what do you want to see? I think it's time we see a full-on blown season, at least 10 episodes long, about the Amber Power. I think it's best to explore this power, see what the Source Dragons think about it. Do they want it? Do they like it? Do they agree with it? And is it something they wished upon or not? Let me know your thoughts and comments. Thank you guys for watching. And sorry if we sort of rambled there, because I really like this power and I really feel like it should be explored. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Peace out.